And we say, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard Sports Media, coming back at you with another video today. And want to talk some Alabama football. Of course, we primarily talk college football on this channel. We'll do March Madness, of course, this time of year, but we do stick to college football. And if you know anything about me, I am a Alabama homer. I am a Crimson Tide fanatic. I am diehard. I have always been a huge fan. I live it. I watch every game. I've been to only one game in my lifetime. That was last year against Vanderbilt. Thank you, X-Wing and Millis Vanillis, for that. But we want to talk today about what are we getting into with Alabama in 2023. Alabama is looking for a college football CFP title return, quote unquote, in 2023. How do they do that? Well, first off, you got to look at what they lost. Jahmyr Gibbs to the draft at running back, quarterback Bryce Young, a Heisman winner, Will Anderson, who was the best defensive player in college football these past couple seasons. They lost a couple receivers, not too many though. They lose all this talent. There's no way Alabama can replace that. Do you know who you're messing with? With Nick Saban. This guy won a championship with Jake Coker at quarterback. If he can do that, surely Jalen Milroe or Ty Simpson, who are better than Jake Coker, no diss on him, surely they can be the guys to return us or return Alabama. I'm a fan. Get back to the college football playoff. Alabama is looking for a college football playoff return. Are they looking for a national title? Absolutely. That's always the standard. But at least let's start with college football playoff hopes after making the Sugar Bowl this past season, which any SEC team, Big 12 team that tie into that bowl game, any team out there would kill to have a Sugar Bowl appearance. That's a big bowl game to be in. Don't take it for granted, Alabama fans. We've seen Alabama at their worst before Nick Saban. 10-2 is not that bad. It's just not up to the standard that we've been accustomed to with Coach Saban. So we'll look at a CBS Sports article by Barrett Sallee. We're going to pull this up, and we're going to read and pick and choose some of these terms and kind of read through the article. Then we want to talk the quarterback competition. We talk about Tommy Rees coming in. We talk about the defense too. What are we getting into with that? So let's go ahead and pull this up. This is from Barrett Sallee, and I'll put this. I'll try to remember to put this in the description or in the comments so you guys can go read all of it on your own, because we're not going to read it word for word. I'm not going to bore you with that. Alabama's Nick Saban facing spring reload, not rebuild, reload, as Crimson Tide set sights on returning to college football playoff. The subtitle, The Crimson Tide Never Stay Down for 2 straight years under Saban, who has plenty to replace in 2023. Okay, let's stop there. Plenty to replace, especially at the quarterback position. Jalen Milroe is not our starter yet. Ty Simpson, I will say the same thing. Not the starter yet. They got to earn it. They got to go through spring practice. They've been doing that. I think they started this past week, if I'm not mistaken. If not, they should start this upcoming week. I just haven't seen anything on YouTube yet. But spring practice is here for a lot of teams in college football. Everybody on Alabama, not just the quarterbacks, have to earn their way on the football field. The article goes on to talk about offseason changes. Gone are offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien and defensive coordinator Pete Golding. Thank God. both of whom departed following the season and were replaced by Tommy Rees and Kevin Steele, respectively, to provide a spark on both sides. Reed, former Notre Dame quarterback, has set 6 seasons versus success. Um, Speaking of quarterbacks, the Tide are replacing 2021 Heisman Trophy winner Bryce Young. The primary candidates are dual threat quarterback Jalen Milroe and former five-star redshirt freshman Ty Simpson. Saban's decision will likely be an indicator of just how much he wants to return to a run-focused attack. So it mentions run-focused attack. That's the big key here, folks. Let's start with Tommy Rees. By the way, we mentioned the quarterback competition, Jalen Milroe versus Ty Simpson. I probably should have. It would have been cool to get some pictures of these guys, but we'll save those for later. But you should see Jalen Milroe. First off, amazing human being. Have not met him in person, but I do follow him on social media. A devout Christian, Christian athlete. Always talking about prayer. Always talking about Jesus. Always talking about God. Amazing. Much love and respect to him. And I'm sure Ty Simpson they don't know. Okay. The quarterback competition between Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson. When you look at what Jalen Milroe did as a quarterback last year, we didn't have I'll say this. It wasn't like the Tua and Jalen or Tua and Mac or Mac and Bryce in 2020 where we had all these games where they were blowing teams out that they put the second or third string in. They had a couple games like Vanderbilt or whoever, but Jalen Milroe saw a little bit of time in his in the games he was in last season. He was in at least 5 games. Arkansas, A&M, Mississippi State, Austin Peay, Kansas State in the Sugar Bowl. Great experience for him. Comes in a redshirt freshman. Going to be, I guess you could say, a redshirt sophomore this year. 297 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks, and a QBR rating of 82. Now, we haven't seen enough of Jalen Milroe to say, oh, he's going to be. Haven't seen enough yet. Watch the spring game. I promise you, he will be quarterback 1 in the spring game. The question is, by September, is he going to earn that same role on the football field? So the quarterback competition comes down to Jalen Milroe, and then I'm going to just call it what it is. If he doesn't win the starting job, he is going to be the backup behind Milroe. That's Ty Simpson. Now, Ty Simpson is number 15. He is a 5-star recruit. He is a 5-star quarterback. He had 35 yards passing last year. He was 4 of 5 for 35 yards. He's 80%. He averaged 7 yards a throw. You would think that for a 5-star, it'd be a little bit more. He didn't even have his first touch. He hasn't had his first touchdown yet. Unless maybe he had it in the spring game. But they don't count the spring game last year. They don't count the spring games for your college stats. They count actual competition. And in actual competition, Ty Simpson hasn't done anything. I'm excited for him, and I'm not here to diss him. I'm not here to diss Milroe. I'm not here to throw anybody under the bus. I'm saying it's up for grabs. The quarterback competition in Tuscaloosa right now is up for grabs. And it's going to be key. That is what's going to be key. You bring back, look, you bring back so much on the roster. I mean, I think Jermaine Burton's coming back. Jahmyr Gibbs is gone. So, I mean, when you look at, and I got this sorted, I mean, you have Jaheim Otis on the defensive side. You got Tony Mitchell comes in as a freshman. Jaleel Hurley comes in. Caleb Downs on the defense. Get back to the offense real quick. I'm sorry to, kind of get away, but Isaiah Bond, watch him. He's going to be a sophomore. Ja'Cory Brooks is a junior. Jermaine Burton, a senior transfer who we picked up last year from Georgia, he comes back. He's going to lead the offensive weapons. I think it starts with Jermaine Burton. C.J. Dupree is a junior transfer out of Maryland. Is he going to see the field? What about this junior and Miles Kitselman? By the way, the tight end position, who is replacing Cameron Latu, who's going to the draft. Already worked out at the combine, did really, really good. We'll hear his name called in April. Robbie Oots. Listen to that name. Rock Hill, South Carolina junior, 6'4", 258. Is he going to see the field? We don't know. There's so much competition that in the spring game, when you watch this, you're going to hear a couple names. You're going to hear the announcers talk about the different position battles for Alabama. Tight end, wide receiver, those are two of the positions. The running back position, Roydell Williams comes back, Chase McClellan. I think it's clear that it starts with those two guys, especially McClellan. After that, who's the second string, or third string, fourth string? Jamarian Miller, Jonathan Bennett, Justice Haynes is a 5-star freshman. And we go down the list. Alabama wants so badly. I promise you, okay? Kirby Smart is going to say the same thing this year that he said last year. He's got that mentality. You know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what he said. We will not be hunted. We are hungry. We want more. We're Georgia. We're Alabama. You're messing with Nick Saban. Nick Saban built Kirby Smart. Put that fire in it. Now, Kirby probably on his own has some stuff to take credit for, but don't forget who the true GOAT of college football is. We're talking about Nick Saban, and I know a lot of people want to say, "Oh, he's up in age, and he's not at this level or that level anymore, and they don't make him like they used to, like he always says, and blah blah blah." He's hungry. You notice the title of the video? Alabama looking for CFP title return. Not just a playoff appearance. They want to get back to the national championship. Return to greatness in 2023. We talk about the defensive side of the ball. I mentioned Kevin Steele coming in from Miami and Auburn. He ran a 4.25 at Miami, which you have speed and great athletes in a 4.25, and Alabama has that. You have 4 down linemen, you have 2 linebackers, and you have 5 DBs, defensive backs. In a 4-3, there are 3 linebackers. 4-2-5 allows the defense to keep for the majority of the time 6 guys in the box. You have speed, you have agility, you have fast guys off the edge. There's going to be a lot of pass rush with Kevin Steele, unless he changes up his scheme. But what he's run at Auburn and Miami, most recently Miami, is a 4-2-5. You look at Tommy Rees, he's tight end heavy, strong run game, wants to work on tight ends and blocking and receiving. He wants to run the football. You'll probably see a lot more running the football this season at Alabama. Jamarian Miller, Roydell Williams, Jace McClellan. Watch those guys, especially between McClellan and Williams, I mentioned, to replace Jahmyr Gibbs. There's got to be some competition to watch this spring. There's going to be guys you're going to want to know their names come time for the fall. And this is all in order that I don't want to throw away Bryce Young, Will Anderson, Jahmyr Gibbs. But a trio like that it is hard to replace. But I think Alabama wants to show that, hey, with anybody on our team, because of the culture, because of the standard, because of the coach and Nick Saban and who he is and what he's done, they want to show that this upcoming team has what it takes to win big-time football games and ultimately win a national title. You look at their schedule. We've already done a schedule preview. I think I had them 11-1, and I gave them a loss to the Auburn Tigers. You know, what does his name slip Hugh Freeze. What does he bring to the table? But after that, I mean, you got teams like Middle Tennessee, a win. USF, a win. You could lose to Texas. You could lose to A&M. You could lose to Tennessee again. Chattanooga, you'll win. Kentucky, you'll probably win, but it's on the road, so be careful. Arkansas, LSU, there are teams out there in the SEC. Outside, let's put Georgia aside. Alabama should be better than all of these teams, and if that's the case, they should win those games. And if that's the case, they should see a good resume for the college football playoff. And that's what we're here to talk about. That's what we're talking about in this video. Alabama's looking for a college football playoff return. More specifically, the standard that is set in the national title. They don't want to just make the semifinal against, the Pac-12 or the Big 12 or somebody. No, they want to go further. They want to get back and win the national championship. Because I guarantee you this, and they know it. Now, Nick Saban tries to put the rat poison on the back burner. But what are you going to say, media? What are we going to say if Alabama fails to win a national title this year? What if Georgia three-peats, it's over? You can forget it. Georgia has definitely replaced Alabama then. I'm talking a lot, man. Y'all got me fired up. I'm ready for this college football season. I want to hear from you guys. I'm going to premiere this. If you watch this back, thank you so much. Leave a like and subscribe. But what does Alabama need to do to get to a national title? They won a title with Jacob Coker in 2015. This was a team that lost to Ole Miss early on in the season, and everybody doubted Alabama. They won the next game. They played teams like Western Kentucky and beat teams like LSU, Mississippi State. They did win the Iron Bowl. Yeah, but if they face especially a team like Clemson and Deshaun Watson, then, it's over. And this dynasty that we've been talking about, it's the window is closing. And what did they do? They beat Clemson 45-40 in a national title. They won the national title that year. This is a team that won when there was no offseason. They went 13-0 in the pandemic year. Alabama's been defying the odds, man. Defying the odds. You keep doubting them, they'll keep showing up in big ways. You can doubt them all you want to this offseason. I'm not here to say they will. I'm just saying they're on a mission. The standard hasn't changed just because players have left the building. The standard hasn't changed because coaches have left the building. The standard is still the same at Alabama today. I've said all I need to say. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. You're probably watching this as it's premiering. You're probably watching it back. I got to hear from you guys. Does Alabama make it back to the college football playoff? Let alone, can they make a national title appearance? this year in 2023. I hope so. I think the season does set up pretty nicely for them. I'd be careful with back-to-back road games against Mississippi State and A&M, but I mean, come on, Arkansas, Ole Miss, USF, Chattanooga. The non-conference schedule a little bit weak outside of Texas, but man, they got this. And we're going to learn a lot about them on April 22nd at 3 p.m. Eastern time. I think you got to watch it on the ESPN app. They might have it there because it won't be on an actual channel. But I think even it's going to be ESPN Plus, which we have with Hulu. So hopefully I'm able to watch it then. If I can watch it, we'll go live. So anyway, I want to hear from you guys in the comments, live chat, anything like that. I love y'all. Jesus loves you. He's got a great plan. Trust and believe it. I'll keep putting out great content for you guys. Keep working. Keep doing what I do. But you guys in this community, I love you all so much. You guys have built this channel up. Let's keep growing. Let's keep going. And I'll keep working. So I love you guys. Have a good one. Ballard Sports Media. Check it out. Love y'all. Roll Tide. Woo!